Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm just a builder. Get right into it here. Been a while since the last video. A lot of things have happened. Still working, fiddling with the truck here and there, but well, hopefully there's some good news with the truck here soon. Alright, so the last thing I did was attach all the exhaust parts, try and just differential that whole sort of thing before putting this piece on. So if any of you are thinking, great, I have to take off this whole thing again, you don't have to. See, I'll point the camera down here. So all you have to do is just lift this up far enough where you can stick it right in. We can just push it right in there. I actually got it in there several hours ago just to test it out. And since I know that it's going to fit in there, I can go ahead and stick it in. Okay. Glue. Hopefully you guys can see this. I need to bring it closer. Hopefully that's good. Okay, that should do it. Okay. And we're just gonna lift it up here. Right into place. Okay. And then I'm just gonna get some more glue here. Don't you think about it. Yeah, come on. Just drop the glue right in there. And just drop heavy amounts of glue in there. Okay, just gonna leave that. Okay. Alrighty. So we have this part next. You got different pieces right here. One for single carburetor, the other one for dual carburetor. We have our battery right here, and this is our this piece right here. Oh, I know what that is. Okay, so this is it's like your front piece right there, and your radiator in the center. Let's see. There we go. Yep. This is your radiator. This is right up here. There's your radiator and all. This is just like metal pieces where everything just hangs on. Just basically part of the frame. Okay, where's my... There we go. Alright, so also have our battery here and for our dual and single carburetors. Now, here we go. 45 and 13. Yep. Right. What's this? My clippers. Alright. Okay. 2. Good boy. This is what happens when the spruce piece is so thick. Is that you want to be careful so you don't cut into the piece that you need. Okay, and we'll X-Acto knife. Go. Okay. Clean off this battery here. Alrighty. I just noticed that there's an indicator on the picture here. Hopefully it shows up. So I know lettering's backwards, but that symbol right there, that black triangle, semi-gloss. I have a couple other indicators here. They usually pop up in the color guides here. Like that's gloss right there, or semi-gloss, and there's the rest of your colors. Alright, where are we? Put that one. E. Flat black. Yeah, pick the right one. Crap. There we are. Okay. As I was looking on this battery, I noticed that there's a little chunk of like whatever right here. I'm about to cut it off, but then I thought, I was like, I'll just do it like this. Just hold it like that with a pair of tweezers. And then just pan it like that. Alrighty. Okay. What do I have for paints? Okay, we have. Okay, looks like I'm gonna need semi-gloss black. What's this? We have flat black here. I know I've got semi. That's not it. So, okay, so I don't have semi-gloss black. I have gloss black. Gloss black. Am I right on that? Yeah. Well, let me see how this thing. Oh, no. Slip joints. Okay, that thing still opens, which is good. Dang it. Okay, that's not gonna work. I'll be right back. Okay. When in doubt, use your dad's table advice. Or you just end up throwing the entire container away. That's bad. I'll say, that's tester's paint for you, I swear. She was great. Pardon my language, but that's some bullshit right there. I was talking to somebody a while back, talking about paints and whatnot, and how testers really kind of took a dump in that department of quality. And with that, I agree. A lot. Okay, so well, we can supplement that. We can use flat black for those areas, and then we'll just use regular black, Tamiya's X-1 black. It acts very similar to a gloss black. Okay. So A goes right there, that's E, and that's A. Alright. Sweet. Okay, so got my tweezers and everything all set up. Hope all of you are having a really good day. My day was, I would say, pretty good. Nothing too fancy or anything. Did mowing. That's about it. The only thing that really stinks is that our other mowers are unfortunately not working. Dad bought a 0-turn mower. Honestly, it is nice. I've gotten used to it. I still prefer the power of the old 318, old John Deere Garden 318 tractors. I'd used them for so long. We'll get them fixed. As soon as my truck is fixed, we'll get those fixed. This won't be a terribly long video, just a short one. I'm gonna take my glasses off. I was looking at the instructions, and even though this kit is over 50 years old and hasn't had any new releases or retooling, I would think if someone's willing to give it a shot, it can be a really, really good kit. I'm kind of coming back around to it, although this piece here, I'll try to figure something out, but there's no guarantee. I can try. We'll see about that. Who knows? Maybe I'll force it, like use a heat gun. I tried using that, but I don't think I had it at the right setting or something. We'll see. Let's get that page up there. Okay, that's our battery done. We're going to do our radiator here. Clean that. One little bit at a time. I'm not sure how many of you guys are gamers I'm not sure if any of you guys who are watching these videos are gamers, but it's been kind of an interesting year for game stuff. Like we just had, I haven't watched it. We had the Black Ops 7 reveal. Again, haven't watched it. Battlefield 6. It's like all that stuff's coming out. Streamers are just having a meltdown and all. And new Lego Batman game coming out. DLC for Indiana Jones. I mean, it's kind of exciting. I heard someone say that, even with Battlefield's success, I mean, maybe it'll do good. Call of Duty's still going to come out on top. And that's a sad pill to swallow. I think it's mainly due to the younger audience who've stuck with it They've been pampered, I guess. And maybe I'm sounding old or something. And you hear a lot of buzz. Older games were created by gamers for gamers. I kind of touched on this when talking about movies. Like, movies were made by people who love movies for people who love movies. And that's the same thing. And can something change? Yes. But who wants to change it? Like, who wants to change the COD formula? Like, what kind of developer wants to come in? And unfortunately, there's nothing they can do. Honestly, it's the shareholders, it's the people behind. There's people behind it and all. And creativity, I've seen this plenty of times with people. I've seen it in comments and other things, that in this day and age, there's no room for creativity within the game space, within the gaming or movie space and whatnot. Like, and it's all just about money. I'll say this is, I think, in that small little spot, I think, if you think about it, like, models is that one tiny space. I think next to Lego it's where that creativity is still thriving. I just recently got a new model kit. I'll have to show you guys in another video. You could say the creativity comes in the form of, with this truck, is its options of what you want to do with it. There are options to create it in a all-wheel or four-wheel drive, or a rear-wheel drive. And I think that's kind of cool. I saw a video that someone put up, is that they did the kit twice, and I think he might have done it once in all-wheel drive and the other one in rear-wheel drive. I'm not sure. I didn't watch the video all the way. But I think that's kind of cool. Like, creativity's still there. It's just found in different communities. And you see this everywhere, that creativity is dying. You aren't allowed to do anything creative or new, because it's like, why would they want to change something that's been making them money for how many years? And they don't know how people are going to react to it, so they're staying very, very safe. And it's like when you're watching, like, the documentaries about Star Trek and how everything was going, like with Star Trek Enterprise and that whole debacle. Like, it was I imagine it might have been a crazy risk for them to move backwards. I listened to some video, they were talking about how it was kind of a dangerous move to move backwards instead of forwards, because Star Trek had always been moving forward in time, from TOS to the TOS movies to TNG, those movies. There was DS9, there was Voyager, and then there was Enterprise, which moved back in time, but it was a new show, but it was a new show, but then moved back in time to before Kirk. And now what we have here we have Discovery, we have Picard, which I think is a good show. I know people crap on it, and then there's Strange New Worlds, which people have their own kind of thing about that. I like it. I haven't watched a lot of the episodes, but it's good. It's got its own thing. It's kind of returning to that sort of, I don't want to say episodic form or whatever, that sort of thing, but it's, there we go. But it focuses on the characters, which is really, really nice. Although that the love story with a couple of the characters is like, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to do. I don't know what they're trying to do. But it's a good show. So, I mean, it's nice that they are. Well, let's look at it this way. Um, with Marvel and DC, you have comics to pull from, and you have characters, and you could develop those characters the way you want to. Or they just take from an existing comic and then modify it. And when you try to go at it from a different angle, you try to show something different, there are some people who will um, react negatively, such as the case with the Batman movie. There are fans, the Dark Knight fans or the Nolan fans. They want a Batman who is already in his prime, already understanding everything and whatnot. Like he's not only Batman, but he's also Bruce Wayne. Like he's taken up that mantle. And what the Batman shows is a very raw version of Bruce. They took the Arkham Origins Batman. It's okay. Let's make a movie out of that. And of course, there were some people out there who probably didn't like the Riddler, and it's good. It's a good movie. I got nothing bad to say about it. It's really kind of at the center of it. You have two orphans. You have Riddler and you have Batman. Both orphans. Both lost something. The only difference is what's the house. I mean, the only difference between them was the house they grew up in. Bruce grew up in a mansion. Riddler grew up in an adoption mansion, that sort of thing. And you could easily switch the characters around. Edward Nygma could be the Batman, and Bruce Wayne easily could have been the orphan. Now, I haven't read heavily into that. I've noticed people. I'm not sure. Maybe I saw it in comics, or people heard or listened to videos, people talking about it, about why some people hate it. But people are looking for something that is, let's say, I could say recognizable, or people are looking again for the perfect character, that flawless character. And you won't get that with the Batman movie. What you got is a seriously flawed character, such as in the case with Batman Arkham Origins, and that fact that Bruce is deeply flawed. And you can really see it in Bruce and Alfred's discussions. And it's the same in the Batman movie. It's almost as if that Matt Reeves looked at the Arkham Origins Batman and was like, okay, let's take that sort of character arc, if you will, or that sort of relationship between Batman and Alfred, though strained, becomes stronger in the end. And I think that's what people are not exactly understanding, is that you can't just have a perfect character every time. There has to be a sort of struggle for them. Otherwise, it's kind of a bland character. That's why people didn't like female characters or Mary Sue's. I know I'm getting to this whole movie drama crap. That's the reason why people didn't like the female characters, the whole female empowerment thing, perfect, very, very perfect characters and whatnot. And a great example is in the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. It is seen heavily there when you first went, and I can ignore part of it. To be quite honest, I can ignore it. And like afterwards, they really did debate and switch. Finn should have had lightsaber. And if you, there's a scene, it's the Falcon scene when they're flying it through Jakku. I can ignore that. I can totally ignore that. You know why? Pardon me, sorry. I apologize. I can ignore the Falcon scene. Why? Because it's cool, it's fun, and not to mention, like, I can ignore the fact that she is, in fact, a Mary Sue. It's because she almost crashes the Falcon. Like, she literally swings it up, slams it against the Star Destroyer hull, and just scrapes the bottom of it. When she tries to take off, slams her right down. Tries to take off, slams the side into the ground. I can ignore that. Yes, it is. I can see it. It's like, I can't see it. But once you get into it, it's like you can ignore the whole thing. You can ignore it for that entire scene. So, I'll say it is a fun scene to watch. It's like the Falcon's back in it. Falcon's back and everything. You get to shoot some TIE fighters. You get to fly. I can ignore that. But then in the next two movies, it's like... Now, I will say that in The Rise of Skywalker, yes, at least the good parts in the film is when the group is just being serious and sarcastic at the same time, such as in The Rise of Skywalker, or the beginning part when they take the Falcon in to go get the information, and then they're taking on TIE fighters, Finn and Poe, and Chewie, R2-D2, you know, when they're flying the Falcon, and they're shooting down TIE fighters and whatnot, and then Poe asks Chewie, how thick do you think that ice wall is? And they blast right through it, hyperdrive style. And that is hilarious. And they're light speed jumping, and it's the craziest, funniest thing ever. And then Chewie gets mad at Poe, and Poe's like, well, Rey's not here. It's the most hilarious thing ever. Of course, they're going at it when they finally get back to base. Like, you dropped a tree on him, you light speed jumped, they're just going back at it. And then when, I can't remember what, I'm not sure what planet it was, but when they go back to the planet so they can get R2-D2's information from his memory banks, they find out he was a spice runner. Finn's like, you were a spice runner? Poe says, you were a stormtrooper? Rey says, you were a spice runner? Poe says, you were a scavenger? We can do this all day. I mean, it's those kind of moments between them is what makes it fun to watch. And when it comes to, like, movies, I'm just going to ignore number 8. Like, I won't watch that at all. Just because they did characters dirty. They did Poe dirty. They did Finn dirty? I don't know. But they did Poe dirty. And that movie was just awful. I think we can all agree that number 8 was just... If you really wanted to rank it, it's like worst to okay. Worst would be number 8. Mid would be number 9. And then okay would be number 7. That's what it would be like. Like 7, 9, and 8. They were good. They were okay movies. Number 8 was just awful. Just the treating of Poe's character was horrible. Like, I've not read comics or anything, but if you read on Reddit, I've looked at this on Reddit, and that it is said that Leia and Poe, like, had a very good relationship. Like, both of them were commanders, and they both had an understanding of each other. But in number 8, it was horrible. Yeah. I would just ignore the movie and just skip right over it. So, but that, like, that's the one. Sure, they were characters that were flawed, but the one thing that's, again, Mary Sue's. Not a big fan. A lot of us are not big fans of them. Again, characters with flaws. Who, again, when it comes to female characters, it's, I would say, a little bit, it's unbelievable to a lot of extents. But then when it comes to like a male character, it's like it's what? Okay, it was, okay. So it's unreasonable for a female character to be Mary Sue, but it's totally reasonable for a male character to be flawless. In the case of Bruce Wayne in the Dark Knight trilogy, but as soon as you get to the Batman movie, everyone loses their freaking minds. It's like he's supposed to have this all figured out. Supposed to have all that figured out. That. Really? You can go watch those movies if you want. Let us have the Batman for once. And of course, I know I'm getting to a rant here, but let's talk about the fact of characters having feelings, characters expressing their emotions. In the Batman movie, why does Bruce wear why does he wear the bat suit? It's because he has so much pent-up anger, he takes it out on the criminals. Now, whether you think that's rightly deserved or not, that is entirely up to you. And every man who has anger needs to let it out. Now, you can debate of that however you want. But in Bruce's case, he never had someone. It's in the movie. It says Alfred says you needed a father. Alfred couldn't do that. He could teach him how to fight, but he couldn't help him regulate his emotions, what he is feeling at that very moment. In this case, Bruce is angry. He is mad. And he is going after criminals. He is beating them to a pulp. He is making them scared through brute force, through fear. And so later in the movie, he is growing as a character. Like, you see him growing. Like, even he literally talks shit to Alfred. But later in the movie, they finally, yes, it is a rocky relationship, but it starts getting on. But they start repairing their relationship with each other. And in the movie, and like I said, that's one of the things that people don't like, is I think people are afraid of character development or something, or I don't know. Maybe it's the expectations are like there's an expectation of what it should be. I think people look at that and want to stretch it higher of what they expect out of a character. Yes, you can have expectations out of a character, but in the end, it's up to the director on how they want to take that, how they want to look at that character and say, okay, let's take a different route. So that's my little thing about movie characters and whatnot. And the Batman is good. I really like it. It's one of my. When I saw it, I could see the little nods. Like, I'm not sure if they took it from Arkham Origins, but if they did, I could see the nods back to it. And it was a good movie. I highly recommend you guys go watch it. I saw it in theaters with my older sister. Sat in what? Second or third row from the front, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Alright. So those parts are drying. We're gonna leave those for the next. We're gonna leave that for the next day. The piece that I just put in, this guy right here. I had painted that off. Off screen. It was painted aluminum, but I painted it flat aluminum. So usually I paint stuff on screen, but I don't know. I just wanted to paint something at the time, I guess. So how's it looking? Okay. We're going to put the wheels in and point the camera down. Okay, so we're going to put it in the top hole. That's where it fits the best. Okay. That right there. I think in the next video we'll put the engine in. Just kind of wait for all this thing to do its thing. Blue and whatnot. Is it this one? No. This one. Okay. So again, these tires are not going to spin at all. I'm just going to glue them right in. Easier that way for me. Because I mentioned before that on my truck, I tried that. That did not work at all. It was horrible. Okay. Put it right in there. Okay, it's looking pretty good. The front tires stick out just a little bit wider than the rear tires. I noticed that. Unless that's just the tires itself, I'm thinking. That's fine. No model's ever perfect, to be quite honest. Especially this 50-year-old model. If you can get past a lot of the stuff, I think it can be a really, really, really great model. Okay. No, never mind. Okay. This is probably going to be the hard part, is making sure it stays balanced. Kinda wish I had a big vise or something just to hold it here. I don't know, something. Yeah. Well. Okay. Oh. We can try this. Use the body. I don't care about the rear tires, I just need it sitting. Okay, I think we're gonna call that good. I'm not touching anything else. Not touching anything else. I'm gonna leave it. And that's it. And try to get out of here slowly. Okay. I think that'll do it for tonight. Thank you for guys who are always watching, always coming back. Thank you again. Thank you all, subscribers, my viewers. Have any questions or comments? Again, put them right down there. If you don't, I'll just keep on building. Again, when this car is done, this one's gonna be for you guys. That's pretty much it. I'm still doing Enterprise off to the side there. Still making sure parts are sprayed. Who knows, maybe I'll do an Enterprise size comparison. Who knows? Alright. Well, again, that'll do it for today. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.